That was when I had said, hey, when you go to North Carolina, I really think you should try to fix things with your wife. And kept asking, well, what about us? And I was trying to kind of take a step back and see if he would fix things before attempting to pursue things with me, because I wanted to know that if all of these things he's saying, like, yes, we're getting separated, and yes, you know, all of these things that he's saying are happening, I wanted to know that it was like, you were doing this like you said you were prior to me coming in your life, and it had nothing to do with me, you know? And so for me, it was like, I really wanted them to fix it. I would have just, like, left the situation.
Did you ever meet his wife? Were you ever at a house? Once. Okay. When was that? So it was just that one time?
Just once. I have no desire to go over there. I mean, that's like a situation where he's living in somebody that he's separated from. It's not my life. It's just their life, you know? And I started telling him, like, the time you spend with me, you spend at my house because this is our space. And that's not my space. And for me, I think it's really disrespectful to go over there. And so we stopped by there once, like on the way to my house. And I was there for maybe like 15 minutes. And I saw a picture of her holding her kid. It's so beautiful. And I remember thinking, like, oh, you're the girl too. And then we left. And I remember telling him after that, it was like, have you ever thought about, like, really trying to fix your marriage with her? And he's like, I don't really want to. And I was just like, man, like, you got a beautiful wife. Like, she's the mother of 2 of your kids. And I'm just like, you already have all of this stuff. Like, you already have the house and the car and the kids and the marriage and the wife. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want to fix that? I'm like, because what if you, like, try to...
like, trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me, and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like,
he kept telling me, like, you know, I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just like, please try, like, just please try. Like, I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and you know, and I was willing to just leave his life. It was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. And like, it was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone.
That was never anything I conveyed to him. I think, you know, not me, like, instructing him, but him deciding to do that because he had me in his life and because he was so, like, infatuated with what we had going on. But, you know, like, I try to put the reason to it at the end, like, why would you wipe out your family to be with me? Like, it doesn't like compute. It's like, how would that go? Like, hey, my family just disappeared, and you think that I'm gonna just not be concerned about that? And not only that, like, he was so about those little girls, and I always try to, like, push him to do that. Like I told you, like, there'd be days where like, he would want to come home to my house after work, and I'd be like, no, go hang out with your kids. Your kids are home. Like, that was me. That wasn't even him. That was me pushing that. And he would go do it, you know. And he'd spend time with them, but he was never like, oh, I don't want to hang out with them. He'd just be like, can I see you for a few hours? And I'm like, if your kids are awake, go hang out with your kids. You know, if they're sleeping and you want to talk, you call me, but don't do that while they're up. Like, spend time with them. And I just, oh my God. And that is the part that I have, like, the hardest part swallowing, where it's like, why would you take them out to spend time with me? Like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But you said he was infatuated with you.
But even then, if he's so all about me, and I support him being with his kids, you would think that he would want to do what would make me happy.
That's a good point.
And
So maybe
what would make me happy
with him hanging out with
with his kids. It's in text, it's in phone conversations. I mean, me, like, instructing him, but
you're even saying in here, he's all about his kids.
yeah. And she was like, asking me somewhere in there, like, I mean, everything I had to say about him at that point was, like, really positive. Like, I think I made it clear that I wasn't, like, 100% sure this was, like, the man of my dreams and I was going to spend the rest of my life with him or anything, but I was enjoying the time that I was spending with him at that point.
You're referencing that he has 2 kids and then you don't like that because you want to have that experience with somebody else? Is that what?
I just thought I wasn't sure if he was the one that I want to be with because he had already, like, done everything.
Okay.
Like, I was like, it would be really nice to kind of, like, have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff. That was never anything I conveyed to him. Have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff. Yeah, that was me pushing that. And he was so, like, infatuated with what we had going on. You would think that he would want to do what would make me happy.
That's a good point.
And
so maybe
what would make me happy
with him hanging out with
his kids.
I didn't know! Just kind of relax. Just feel. You did great. You remembered the why and everything. That was awesome. So, you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell a lie, like, they can tell, like, on your face that, because the second you lie to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I had, like, turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So, that is what I need to see as a polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie. And you're actually having a significant reaction when you lie, so that is awesome. So thank you for being a horrible liar. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a horrible liar. And that just shows me that, you know, obviously on the test when they're asking, you know, significant stuff about your wife, if you're lying to that, it's going to be even 10 times more amplified. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, more than you know. So.
Yeah. But you are here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay? That's your daughter. I know. And she's very good. I'm not proud of it. Like, I didn't think anything like that could happen. I didn't think I'd ever do it, but I did. You know. Keep going. She accused me of it. I denied it. And she was on her ass so horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was, I don't want to, I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her. And I feel absolutely horrible about this, but that's what I've been holding. I think that when I didn't go to the Rocky game, I was with her. Okay. I went to dinner with her. Okay. Keep going. That 5 weeks I was alone, I was with her most of the time. Okay. You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller. When I tell you I fell out of love, it's because I fell out of better. Absolutely. Okay. I mean, that's the honest truth. Okay. Who is her? So I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life. Like, it's something like this. I don't want her involved in this. Okay. So can we talk about that a little bit? Yes. I knew that you would say you didn't want to get her involved. Because she's a wonderful person. Like, she knew I was yes. And I told her we're going through issues, yes. And I told her that, we were going to get, at the end, like, we were going to get separated. Like, once I figured out what that was, I didn't know what that was going to be. I know. I had no idea. I was like, I saw her, took my breath away, and I never thought in a million years that could happen. I know you think I'm a figure about but it was, I never felt that way about anybody in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. Chris, that's not your fault. No, I'm just, why can we do this? I know you want to take care of her it's because you're the type of guy who takes care of women. It is. You took care of your wife, you took care of your daughters, you were very good at taking care, and you want to take care of her. So can we make a deal? I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody, but I can't walk out if you're wondering. So, can we leave her out of it? Okay. Get back to your wife and your daughters. Okay. Where are they? That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. I didn't know, what I did. I know, Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about, I was holding back from
There are quite a few people who would tell us, and who do tell us, we need to look into Nichol more, Nichol Kessinger. All the way from the extreme end of things being, Nikki's the one who ordered the hit.
She was there. I'm in the basement.
She was there. So the extreme is, she's the one who told Chris to do it. She's the real problem. All the way, that's the extreme side, and then all the way to, well, there were these texts where she was infatuated, she was in love, she was saying how good Chris was in the sack, and maybe we should look at her more. What would you say to those people?
She had her moments where I had to talk her off a ledge kind of deal.
What does that mean?
I guess after the fact, there was videos of her that she was recording herself because she was bipolar or something. I never do that. But it's and she would get worked up about nothing. She would just she came to my house once because I think it was July 4th. I didn't have to work that day, so I didn't get up at 4 o'clock and go home. And she had called me 10 times in a row. And I didn't hear it because I was sleeping. And I was just and she was pissed. Chanel was pissed. And I called her on outside, where are you at? I was I didn't have to work today. It was you called me at 5:30. It was she just want to talk to you at 7:30. And I was sleeping. She was she just screw you, don't know where you're at. And I was back inside, something I gotta go. And she was just okay, when we come back, and probably not.
So wait a minute, you kind of lost me there. Were you at Nikki's place when Sinead called you?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you were sleeping in her bed?
Yeah, because I wasn't going to work that day, because I didn't have to that day. Okay. First time I ever had off. And, she now was pissed, and, kind of pissed Nikki off too, that I left. But I think that's when I called Nikki there, and she was she kind of realized that, she'd always be the second, she said second fiddle.
You're referencing that he has 2 kids, and then, you don't like that?
And so, are those people absolutely wrong about Nikki? She wasn't asking you to get rid of your family? Are you sure? Okay. And no part of any of this was because she put it in your head or asked you to, or
this whole relationship contributed to it, sure, but she didn't want me to.
Hey, was it ever I wish you didn't have kids, I want to have, kids of my own with you,
she never knew if she wanted to have kids, but she said that, at one point she said, I'd like to give you a son.
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys had an intimate relationship during that time?
Yes.
Okay. So, you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Now, we're standing that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but let's go Sunday into Monday, or Monday, did you did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I did to him because it was just all very new to me, and I was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just feel like fixed things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time. And I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, you know, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but don't, not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but like the later ones.
And
thank you.
When you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it.
Yes, I just didn't say it as frequently as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still like very, very new, so I kind of like took my time and only said it when I was just like, this is a really important moment.
Discussions on this thing, like, you know, we talk about the future. I think all couples do talk about the future, but it was never like, hey, I'm like leaving her, we're gonna get a house together, you're moving in with me. It was never like this appointment that. It's like, you know, once you guys, all your plans finalized, and you guys have decided to separate, and you're in your own spot with your kids, I was like, I think the days that you're with your kids, you need to be with them like full time. You know, I'm not ready to meet your children. He didn't even ask me to meet his children. I mean, not yet, you know, but I told him, I was like, in the future, eventually, if we get to that point where we think we're ready, yes, but I'm not ready to meet your kids. They're not ready to meet me. You're not ready to have me meet them. And I just told him, you know, like, I think we should take our time. Like, ideally, I would only like one now with you know, on the days that you don't have kids. And I was like, in the rest of those days, I was like, spend time with yourself, man. I was like, you've been in a relationship for a really long time. Like,
because that's how I would this, you know, I don't want to be anywhere else when Jeanette calls. She was already pissed. So it was stuff like that where she would she said she would go on like websites and look at like real relationship work with somebody, like real mistress work, real mistress turned into a relationship.
That's what Nikki was looking at. Yeah. She would tell you that, or you were okay.
Yeah, she said that she would go on websites and look at stuff like that. I was like, why do you even look at stuff like that? She's like, I just want to see what other people have experienced.
But like, so that confuses me though, because I thought earlier you were saying she thought you were heading toward a divorce. So why was she looking at herself as a visitor?
This was later on.
Oh.
Like, you know, in August, like that first week of August, when I told her, like, you know, I hadn't had that talk with her about separation. That's when, like, she would start looking at, like, apartments and stuff. But, like, during our July relationship type thing there.
Oh, I see.
That's when she was looking up, like, you know, if it would actually work. Okay. She told her friend Brittany about it, I guess. And Brittany told her not to do it, but she said she'd already made a decision.
Okay.
I wasn't like 100% sure this was like the man of my dreams and I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, right?
dating seriously and like building something with each other. But I mean, that was kind of my standstill on that. And, you know, and I feel guilty that I should have like waited to, I guess, like initiate anything that we had together until after the situation finalized, as opposed to doing it while they were in the midst of separating.
Or I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even like process. I was like, okay, like give her some space, you know. And on that note too, when he was in, we're gonna jump back for just a second. I had a thought. So when he was coming back from North Carolina, that was when he officially told me we're going to get a divorce and we're going to put the house up for sale. Like, he told me they were separating and they were like
gonna put the house up for sale, but they hadn't done it yet. And then when he got back from North Carolina, that was when he was like, it was like sealed deal.
Okay.
Still made to delete everything. I didn't delete everything. It was, okay. I'm not sure why I didn't delete everything, but probably helped you guys out a little bit. But
She told you to delete everything?
delete all conversations.
Did she tell you why?
She just said delete it. Which I don't think you can ever delete a text message.
Are you guys, am I in trouble because I deleted his text?
You're not in trouble.
I didn't know what was going on at that point.
So, I know does that cause questions?
Of course it does.
There is, but is it criminal? No. Is there concern that you're hiding something? Potentially. That's why I want them, or I wouldn't be asking for them.
I know,
And you've
I'm trying to give you
been,
guys
you've
that.
been upfront with me about everything. I don't have a concern that you ever told Chris, I don't want you, go kill your wife, or
No.
get rid of your kids, or I don't want to date you if you have kids. None of those things ever came out of your mouth. We've talked about that. So,
If I never met Nicky, would I ever have, thought our relationship was bad? I would not.
Interesting.
That's one thing I always thought about. Like, even Nicky asked me, like, if, I don't want you, she said, I don't want you to leave your wife just because of me. I'm just like, what do you mean? She said, well, just if you met me, like, would you have known? I'm like, nope. So I never thought I would have strayed away from her at all. Like, I've never tried to follow anybody, but.
Well, and it seems as though, and again, hard to talk about, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it also seems, is it accurate to say that sexually you were able to say, Nikki, this is what I would like, this is what I'm into, or blah, 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 and maybe not what Shanann?
Nicky just wanted, she wanted what she wanted. She wanted to do it pretty much all the time. And I was just like, okay, that's fine with me.
Okay.
With Shanann, it was just like hey. Sometimes it happens and it didn't, but that wasn't the case as far as that way. It wasn't just like sexual, but it was me. I would just want myself. I could just not think about what I was gonna say or plan what I was gonna say or not, say something stupid or something. Right, a little bit of freedom. Yeah.
Can I ask you something about that morning that you had sex with Shanann? Did you feel at all like maybe you were kind of cheating on Nikki by doing that?
I felt strange. I felt like, the first time I was with Nikki, I felt weird. First time,
Sure.
And then the last time I was with Shanann, I felt totally strange. I was like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I had become. I felt like I become people I see on TV, and that did not feel right with me. Like I didn't know what had happened to me. So Nikki even asked me, like, have you done this before? Have you ever strayed away? I'm like, I've never even thought about it. It's like, what's different? It's like, I guess it's just you that's different, because I've just never actually, like, I've seen girls smile at me before, never done anything about it. With her, it was just like, it's like she had a leash on me and she tugged me away. As soon as she walked, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, she had her moments where I had to talk her, like, off a ledge kind of deal.
What does that mean?
It's like, I guess after the fact, there was like videos of her that she was like recording herself because she was like bipolar or something. I never knew that. But it's like, and she would get worked up about nothing. I calm her down.
Tell me about those times. What'd that look like?
So the first one was probably around July 4th when I had to leave her house. Because she wanted to kind of spend most of the day together before she went to like a baseball game or something. And like when I had to leave, it kind of just made her like kind of take a step back and wonder what she was doing. And I just, told her like, hey, just because of what's going, just because I had to leave doesn't mean like, you have to just take a step. I was like comforting her at some point. I don't even know why I was doing it. Maybe I knew I was too far gone at that point, but it was.
Because this is Shanann's pissed. She's called you 10 times. You were sleeping. You had your day off.
Yeah.
And then you go outside to talk to her on the phone and tell Nikki that you need to go home just in case she calls back and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did she say to you, Nikki?
She was in the shower. She said, okay. And then that's like, when I talked about I calm her down, he was on the phone.
Or was she like, we're breaking up, like, we're not gonna, I can't do this?
No, she said, like, she didn't wanna, like, she didn't think it was safe, or it was good for us to see each other anymore that day, like, the rest of that day, just because of all that, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And she asked me to come over, like, later on after she got back from her baseball game.
And so you did that?
Mm-hmm.
So what was the second one like?
It was basically about the same thing. She was, you know, I didn't really know it at one point, but I guess she had set up a couple dates with like some eHarmony app or something, and they never showed up. And she had already made plans with me, and you know.
Wait, what do you mean? She set up dates when she had plans with you?
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
I guess she kind of figured out they weren't going to show up. She went, I guess when she went to the baseball game, they never showed up, and there was another one and never showed up either. So
she's actively dating other people?
I didn't know it until like a couple weeks later.
How did you find out?
She told me.
What'd she say?
She it was one conversation where I actually kind of fell asleep on the couch, and then like she had told me like I'm not sure why she told me about it, but it was very random, and she could tell that it kind of like took me back a little bit because I figured she would have told me that if she was actively still like looking around. I mean, she didn't have to tell me, but I figured she would.
You think she told you though so that it would hurry you up and
make a decision?
You're making a decision?
It might have been, but I don't know. There's so many Mickeys and Nichols in this.
Right, there is.
I got confused.
So we'll call her Nikki. So then with Nikki, was it different?
It just seemed like I was more in control, it seemed like, and that never happened. Like, she'd actually, like, asked me, like my opinion on a lot of things, and just, like, what I wanted to do, and just kind of, like, okay.
That's new, wasn't it?
Very new.
Oh, it's fascinating to me. And so, did it feel more like an equal partnership, or?
It seemed like it.
Yeah. Okay. So then, when it was date night, would you guys talk about it? Would you ask to go somewhere, or would she say, I want to go somewhere? Was it too fast?
The first time we went out, it was to a movie over at the Orchard, off the 144th over there, and I asked her, like, hey, you want to go see this movie? And, like, she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. And we got there, it was sold out, and, normally probably just have, just wait 2 hours, like, just go home, but now she just wanted to walk around and just talk. Like, okay.
Oh, wow.
So that was different, and, I think she wanted to go to the car museum, Shelby Museum in Boulder. I've never been there. And
that was right up your alley.
Yeah. I was just like, that was awesome just to walk around cars for like an hour or so. And then, drag race in Vandermeer.
Okay.
I haven't been to a drag race since 2008. That was in Charlotte.
Okay.
Like, that was a little drag strip over there. It's like the NHRA, the Top Fuel, front car stuff, like me and my dad used to grow up.
Yeah.
Go there like all the time. And then like went camping in Sand Dunes National Park, and I'd never been camping. I always wanted to do it. Thought it was she'd done it like countless times.
Oh, really? Okay. She's outdoorsy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess every time like she needed to clear her head, she'd just go by herself, just go somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's a completely new type of person and relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What were you thinking this whole time? Like,
in the back of my head, I was just telling myself, what are you doing? Like, every time, I'd open up my phone, I could see pictures, like, of my wife and my kids, and just like, what am I doing? And then, like, every time I was with her, it seemed like I didn't think. It seemed like it was like a blinder that was on my face.
oh.
And it just, like, every time I look back on it, like, like, I have pictures of my wife and kids and myself. And, like, every night, or every morning, every night, I just, talk to them, say, like I have, like, this book I used to read for Cece, and I remember that book, so I read that to them, like, every night. And, like, there's some scripture and stuff that I read to them, so I just try to think back, but I wish this never happened. It was like, I wish that blind went on my head, working my eyes, that would have seen what was going on. Like, I was having, everybody said, oh, you're just out there having fun while your kids, are kids and wife are on vacation. I'm just like, no, it wasn't like that, but it seemed like that's what it looks like when you're going, you're going to camping, going to dry race, going all this other stuff that you have fun doing, but you're with somebody else. It's not your family. It just didn't seem right. With her, it just didn't seem like I could see that anymore. I was there at her house pretty much every night, so it was like I didn't have that time at home just to really think about anything. Because literally, I was only at home from when I got home from work. I worked out, I ate dinner, and then I went over to her house. I never slept in my house from the whole month of July.
Now, talk me through that though. When you said you went home and then you were at her house, was that while Chanel was gone? Oh, okay. So you weren't even at your house?
No.
This all happened so quickly, didn't it?
It was insane quickly. She even told me she would never, in a normal relationship, she would never have somebody over at her house more than once or twice a week, but she felt like she wanted me over there.
Yeah.
She said she felt comfortable over there.
Yeah.
So it's just that's what was different, she wanted me over there. But I just wish that all that would just go away. I just wish I know it's hard, I know it's wrong to say I wish I never met somebody, but I wish I, maybe met her at work and then just kept it that way.
I think if we had a time machine, I don't think this would happen again. Because some people, when this happens, you're like, well, if it wasn't this time, it would have been next time, or it would have been the next time. It just wouldn't have happened with you, would it? It happened so quickly that you tell me if I'm wrong. You're not the type of guy to take control sometimes when you need to. Yeah, it seems like that's just what happened.
Yeah, I didn't take control of the situation. It just the situation controlled me.
It just happened. I get that, man. I'm somewhat passive myself, and it's there's situations where I'm like, oh, why did I let that keep going?
Yeah, I don't know why it was like a roller coaster ride that I just kept punching and taking on and just never picked it up.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he was the one I want to be with because he had already done everything.
By the way. Yeah, so we did that, and then that it was more of a mutual thing. He said that he was the one who had initially brought it up, before we had met, and then she was on board with it, where she was just I'm not happy either, let's do this. And then I remember telling you guys that when he was going to go to North Carolina, I kind of backed away from the situation, and I was like, hey, I think you should try to fix things with her because you have a really beautiful life with her, and I think you should try to fix stuff. And he kept telling me I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just please try, just please try. I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and I was willing to just leave his life. If you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. And and that's fine, and he'd always be like, well, what about us? And I'd be like, don't worry about us. Try to fix stuff with her. And he said, okay, I will. And then when we went to North Carolina, he told me that he sat down and had a conversation with her, and that he told her that he wanted to fix it. That is what he said to me. He told her that he wanted to fix it, and she said no, that she still wanted the separation, and that she was ready to file for divorce. So I was under the impression when he got home from North Carolina that the divorce was filed. That was what I was under the impression. And so then on Monday, when we were on that one phone call where he was just saying all sorts of weird stuff, he again, I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was something along the lines of she was okay with the fact that I wanted the separation. Right. And then I remember asking him, I was like, wait a minute, when you were in North Carolina, you told me that you tried to fix it with her, and she was the one who said that she didn't want to fix it. Okay. And he's like, no, and then he goes, no, I just told her that I still wanted, to continue with the separation. And I'm just thinking in my head, he lied to me, guys. He lied to me.
How about your Facebook account? You deleted that at some point? When did you do that? Why?
I think it was, got back August 7th. Went to afterward. I think it was probably August 8th. That's when I think told me she told her friends about me. And I just figured, they probably looked me up on Facebook and see that she was pregnant. If Nikki knew probably already, but I did that.
Did you and Nikki have a fight?
You said earlier you did not know she was pregnant until reading the newspaper.
Yep.
So that never came up in any conversation. There was no indications that was going on.
None.
He never hinted to anything like that. As far as what time you went there.
And I found out that she is 15 weeks pregnant. I did not know that. I was pretty taken back by that. I just felt kind of like disappointed with him, and not with the situation. I mean, if she's pregnant, that's a beautiful thing. That was information that definitely was helpful to me. So I had to find that out through the media. I got it yesterday. And he kept telling me, he's like, it's not mine. And he just kept telling me it wasn't his. And he's like, are you mad? I was like, no, I'm not mad at all. I just am like really surprised. And I was just like, please tell me the truth. Like, don't lie to me. Please don't lie to me. Like, this whole relationship, in a sense, if you think about it, it's kind of like, it needs to be honest about this. So, yeah, I asked him to tell me the truth, and he kept denying it a few times, and I was just like, Chris, like, I know this child is yours, and I'm like, well, because he kept saying he was just like, I don't want to ruin anything you have, this, and I'm like, Chris, like, you need to not worry about me right now. Like, what you need to worry about is your family. I want all 4 of them, and I kept saying that, like, all 4 of them. I'm just like, I know that's your child. I'm like, and that's okay. I'm like, you need to put all of your energy right now into focusing on finding them and not anywhere else. And then he finally came clean, and he was like, yeah, it's mine. And I knew it. So, of course you knew. Like, come on, how would you not know that your wife is like, what is it, almost pregnant? I mean, seriously. So he told me, and I just, I don't know. I've never honestly, I have never felt like he's lied to me. I've always felt like he's been pretty upfront with me this entire time, and that.
It felt like, like looking back at everything, like just like reading the scripture more and more now, I can see like, God gave me opportunities to get at. Like even my friend Jeremy Lindstrom, he even invited me because like it was his daughter that came and watched the kids on that Saturday night. And he was like, hey, you said we're going to a Rocky game, you want to go to me with the Bronco game and watch the Arizona Cardinals? Like, in my mind, it was like, go. Just say, hey, I can't find a babysitter. Bye.
To Nikki?
Yeah. And maybe that would have been like, a light switch in my head goes off, light switch in her head goes off, maybe it just like goes different directions. That was kind of like my last opportunity to kind of get out of that seems like, because I wish I would have just said, yeah, let's go. Yeah. And I think that would have just put me on a different trajectory.
Did you talk to Nikki afterwards? After all this happened?
13th and 14th.
What was that conversation like?
It was the 13th. It's kind of like, it was more text, and then maybe a phone call, and then she thought maybe she had took off with the kids, because I was telling her I didn't know where they were and all that. And the 14th, she kind of I think she kind of thought something may have happened because they hadn't come back.
Why do you say that she might have thought that?
Or, she kept asking me some weird questions. She kept asking questions that only I would know, that she was testing to see if it was actually me on the phone.
What do you mean?
She would ask what's my dog's name, or what do I what yoga studio do I go to, or something like that. And so I just answer her, and then like another thing about, I'm not sure if this is you. I'm just like, okay.
Is this through text or is this through calls?
Text.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't hearing your voice. Okay.
Yeah. Is it possible she thought you'd been arrested and we were on the phone?
Either Shanann had my phone or somebody else had my phone, or like maybe, maybe it was, maybe she thought it was.
Well, hopefully Shanann would know all the answers to those questions, right?
No, this is Nikki asking me.
Yeah, but if she's asking you your name and your dog and what yoga studio, and like, wouldn't
So
Shanann know that?
maybe she thought, maybe I was with Shanann, she was just trying to find out who she was. Yeah, like some of the conversations, like on the 14th, got a little weird. I think that's when she met with CBI or something, or FBI. I'm not sure who she met with first.
So she talked to you after she met with?
No.
Oh,
That was like, she told me, like, this is the last time you'll probably hear from me. I'm going to stay at my friend Jim's place. All this is all going on. Should not contact her until this is done.
Being you're going to be alone for 5 weeks.
And there's times I wish, like, maybe Shanann didn't have to go away for 5 weeks. Maybe we all just went for 1 week.
Yeah.
Nothing would ever happen. It's only, 5 weeks alone, that's the only reason really that was even almost even allowed to happen.
Hi. It's me. You guys just call me back when you have a chance. Bye.
Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye.